As we go down this list of advice from billionaires and geniuses, be prepared because the ideas we discuss may not be things you've ever heard of. They may even be things completely at odds with what you're used to hearing. And stay to the end where we discuss the idea that Jeff Bezos credits for him starting Amazon. Let's get into the video. Elon Musk, undeniably one of the most successful and smart people of the century, gives the advice to young people to study physics. But I don't think he really means to study physics. I think he means to think like a scientist, to use first principles thinking. It begins by asking questions like, what are we absolutely sure of? Starting with foundational truths rather than assumptions to build the basis of our arguments. To implement first principles thinking in your own life, practice dissecting information more carefully as it goes from something you hear to something you believe. Now onto a man I guarantee you have never heard of. Andrew Critch studied pure mathematics in college, became an algorithmic stock trader, and worked at UC Berkeley, and is now running his own AI startup. He thinks that people are profoundly non-numerate, and that people who are numerate have difficulty implementing numbers in their own lives. He shares an example to illustrate this point. Say this thing is annoying you. How many minutes is it annoying you today? How many days will it annoy you? 10 minutes a day is 60 hours a year. If something eats up 10 minutes of each day, you'd break even spending an entire work week eliminating that thing. He says that there aren't things lying around in my life that bother me because I instantly notice and address them. In a Less Wrong article, he writes about 20 things that he thinks all people should excel at. There are 3 that really stand out. Executive function is the ability to generate an impulse that is not there, to basically trick yourself into doing something when you don't really want to. The second is impulse control. Impulse control is basically the biological definition of discipline. And third is sustained attention on a single thing. It's focus, it's meditation, it's discipline. These are all kind of different words for the same kind of concept. And it's one of the things that I think separates truly exceptional people. They push even when they don't want to. Chamath Palihapitiya. He has an interesting framework for dealing with decision making. He breaks every decision down into small or large impact. Small decisions, he says, should be dealt with quickly, but big decisions, ones with huge kind of potential negative consequences, he says you should move slowly on, take longer than you think you need, 6 months, a year. In the context of investing, you could write smaller check sizes to super early stage companies all day, super fast, because the potential negative is so low, it's only your check size. But when you're talking about writing a $500 million check, that's when you should go slow. Take 6 months, take a year on the investment decision because the net downsides are so massive. As we've seen, the things we've talked about so far today aren't so much fields of study, they're rather ways of thinking. This is something that I find interesting and really is at the heart of what we're talking about today. And before we talk about the final idea, which Jeff Bezos credits for him starting Amazon, I want to take this time to ask you guys to subscribe, like, share this video, comment, do all that stuff. I'm a small channel. Any help you guys can give me would be super appreciated. So thanks for taking the time to do that. Now moving on to one of the ideas that Jeff Bezos credits for him starting Amazon. So let me read a short passage. He says, "When I'm 80 and reflecting back, I want to have minimized the number of regrets in my life. And most of our regrets are acts of omission, the things we didn't try, the paths we didn't travel. Those are the things that haunt us. And if I decided not to give the internet, this thing that I thought was going to be a big deal, my best shot, I think I would have regretted it forever." So I think this is a useful framework when you're deciding between 2 things or going throughout your life. Will I regret this action? Thank you all for watching, and I sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. I hope you guys follow along and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks a lot.